Hey everybody, Gail here, Shabby Cottage Studio. If you're following along with this little tag book series, then welcome back. And if you are new here, this is a little kind of my process of doing a tag book. And I've made it into a little series. So right now, there are 2 videos ahead of this one showing how I put it all together, and then there's one where I am creating the pockets. And now today, or at this time, I'm going to be putting tags together and putting those in the pockets. And while I was gone, I did create a master board for a few of the tags, and I will insert a still photo of the master board so that you can see what it looked like before I cut it apart, and I'll put it in somewhere right around here. I have cut out some images that I printed in between the last video and this one, and chose some of those images to go on particular tags. So let's just go ahead and get started. If you've been with me, you know that this is a side pocket. And I have decided, excuse my reach, but I have things in front of me and all around me. You're just seeing the little clean area. But I have this lace. This is the lace I want to use for I'm going to call it a journal card that goes in this pocket. And I have gone ahead and done the background of the journal card and backed it so it's got some sturdiness to it. This background paper is an image from an Amity Bloom kit. And what I've chosen to use on top of the card for a focal point is this image, and this is a Sweet Pea Curiosities image. I do need to ink this, and I thought what I would do in this video, which I don't think I did in the last one, is what I was doing in the last one was going away and coming back. But I think sometimes, just depending on where I'm at, what I'm doing, what the time constraint looks like, I might just go ahead and if I'm going to glue something or ink something, I will go ahead and either stop the video and come back, or I will just speed it up and get through as quick as possible, because I think most of you know how to ink and know how to glue, and watching somebody do that can get kind of boring. So, before I forget, let me go ahead. My journal cards, I like to round the corners. I just have a little 3-hole punch. And I always round the bottoms. If it's a journal card or a tag, the bottom that slips into a pocket, I always round those. It makes it a whole lot easier to go into a pocket than those straight corners. Okay. While I've got it out, usually what I do after I do the front is I'll go ahead and just ink the back a little bit. Sometimes on the backs of my cards and tags, I might do a little stenciling, but those are usually left in a way that can be journaled on. Thus the name journaling card. And there was something I wanted to put this, but there was some, oh, I know. I know. I've got this tea-stained embossed paper, and I liked the idea of just bringing in a little bit of the white part of it, just to separate it from the back a little bit more. And then I want to use some of this, which, if you remember, I used this on one of the pockets. So I just thought I might layer that. Move that out of the way. So what I have to do is just do some trimming and gluing. There. Sorry, I really do have a mess around me, so I have to keep moving things to get to things, and just trying to get to my glue page. That's not what I want to glue yet. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Okay. That's what I want to do. So, I'm just going to glue part of it right now. Okay, I see what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear that off. Okay, yes, that's what I want to do. Now, to make it easier on myself, a lot of times what I do is when I've got if I've got a layer where I like it, and I'm afraid that if I take it off to glue it, I won't get it back to where I want it, and so I will just put a dot of glue to keep it together, like so, and then I can go ahead and glue. Grab the wrong thing. Okay. I do want some of these flowers to show. That's why I laid it on the background like that. So I don't want to cover them all up. I don't know if I've told y'all, but I have the crookedest eye in the world. Even when I think things are straight, they're not. So I really have to watch myself, and even when I'm watching myself, sometimes they're not as straight as I think they should be. So I'm just going around and I don't know where I'd be without my tweezers. Alright. Now I want to add the lace. Okay, I need a little glue there. Otherwise, when it goes in the pocket, it's going to get all ripped. Now, I just cut off a hunk of that lace. And I'll have to trim a little bit of it. Let's see how I'm going to put that on. Okay. See if I can get this. I think what I have to do is I'm just pulling this down a little bit. Okay. I thought, oh no, did I put it in backwards? Nope. Let's make a room over here. Oh, I got some paper over here. I think I might put something on the, put another piece on the back, and that's a nice, you can write on this. And because I had to do some fiddling, it doesn't always look pretty, so I think I will put this paper there. But let's put it on this end. This is a nice neutral. All right, so gluing again. Now, now, let's see what we got. Oh yes, I love it. I've got this tag, and I have no idea what I want to put on it yet, so I'm just going to leave it alone and go over here someplace. Here we go. Here's one. I know what I want to do with this one. What I wanted to do, we'll see if I make it. I want her, again, I love this. Lydia, if you ever stop by, I love this pattern so much. So I don't want to cover that all up, but I want to come in. This is one of the tags that I cut out of the masterboard. In fact, I should show you. This one was also one that I cut out of the masterboard. And so is this one. So what I want to do, where'd it go here? Got this French, antique French book page. And I want to add that to the top. In fact, I think I want to bring it down here. It's not that I don't like that, but I just think I like that better. I have this little crinkle seam binding ribbon floppy floofy bow, and I'm going to just I've got my Tim Holtz. I love this thing. I always thought, I don't need that, and then one day I decided I did, and I'm so glad. Now let's just see if I can, I might have to put 2 staples in it. Okay, let's cut this a little shorter. Oops, okay. take the staple out and try again. Okay. Yeah, that should hold. But I think I'm going to put... So I put one staple in this way. Now I think I'm going to put one in that way. I just want to make sure it stays in place. Here we go. And I think I should put something to cover up the staples. What can that be? I have some of these. Put a little pearl in there. Oh, that's cute. I'll do that. And I know it's a sticky, but I don't trust the stickies, so I always add some glue. Yeah. Now, on the back, just looking to see what I got. Yes, I'm going to do that. That's it's newsprint, so it's not adding any weight to it. Because this is newsprint and it's so thin, my glue stick grabbed it and wouldn't let me move it. And I got it a little low at the top, so my solution for that is usually a little bit of book page or sometimes something decorative. It looked like I had a little bubble in there. I'm not a fan of bubbles, so yeah, okay. All right, this one I am going to just leave it like this. A little bit more ink on the back. Okay. Haven't got to her yet. This one I did figure out this much. Okay. This is not one that I did on the masterboard. This is one of Lydia's from her kit, from the soft wallpaper kit. And I had this scrap of stencil paste, what am I trying to say? Textured stencil. And so I want to lay that down first. And then, Sweet Pea Curiosity, one of her kits, and just some brown packing paper. So I do want to put the cap on my glue before it dries out. I want to just crumple this a bit. And usually on the backs of these when it's too dry. When I distress these, I usually put some color on the back, just so that if it's an edge that shows, it's not pure white. I need to do a quick inking. Oops. I just see a little trim here. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is, sometimes I like to stencil on the back, and I've got this Tim Holtz stencil, and I like it for just kind of just a little something in the background. And I'm using my vintage photo, a fairly dry brush, or blender, sorry. So I guess this is supposed to be like splatters or stained. So I just pick areas and move it around. Okay, and I have this pretty seam binding, crinkly seam binding. I was thinking about stapling it on, but I'm going to use my slot punch. Let's do it this way. need some room here. Maybe I will do a bow. If I got enough. If I've got enough. I will need a tuck here. I'll worry about that later. Don't have anything for that pocket yet. This one. This is the envelope flip. Okay. What had I decided? I've cut some cards. This is just at a thrift store. I found this huge box of old time cards. They're very long, and so I use these a lot for backing, as long as they don't have to be wider than this. And let's see which is which. Double checking myself. Okay, this is there. That and that. And so this is for the front, I believe. Yeah, okay. So let me set this aside a moment. Let's put this together. Make some room, Gail. Make some room. I like this image. It's not wide enough for this journaling card, but I will take care of that. And I'll ink it afterwards. All right, I'm going to glue this down first. And then I am going to add some book page. This is from a antique French book. And I need to cover I've just got some scraps over here. Some scraps, some aren't scraps. This sheet is from one of Lydia's newest kits, neutrals. Pretty neutrals, soft neutrals, pastel neutrals. I'm sorry. Again, in the description box. I'm going with just a little bit bigger, oops, sorry, corner. Usually what I do is come back. I don't put all the details in when I'm working on them. I don't know. It's just seems to be a habit I've formed. Whether it's good or bad, I have no clue. It's just the way I work. So a lot of times I will come back and I might stamp something or put a little image someplace or a label. So that's probably what I will do with this one. So for now I'm just going to tuck that right in there. Oops. And then this one, yep, that one goes in there. And I think I want to do a tab. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a tab on this one, so I can get her glued up. Okay. I'll probably just come in and put a label or something on this one, and not sure what I want to do the tab out of. Okay, let me look. Oh, wait a minute. I just got this lace in too. Oh, I think I'll do that. Okay. This lace and the other one, This one, I got those from Crafty Me shop on Facebook. She has some of the most wonderful laces, and her prices are very reasonable. Okay, how am I going to do this? Well, let's straighten this first. Okay, I like that. Let's see if I can stretch this opening a bit without ripping it apart, which I have ripped it before and then I just fix it. But usually what I will do is when I have a tight pocket and I haven't put a flange or hinge or whatever on it, I will go in. Now this is, you know, real dry, with my bone folder, and I try to keep my fingers on the glued edge so I don't get too close to it. And down on the bottom, and then over to the other side. I find that the paper, the fibers will stretch just a little bit. You don't want to get too rough with it. There. You saw the problem I was having a minute ago and I used the tweezers. Now that's going to be a problem, so I want to glue that down some more. There we go. Okay, I have to come back and I want to do something here. I might put a label on this, I'm not sure yet. Over here, now I haven't cut something to back this yet, but this is the tag I want to put in here. And I actually, let's see. Let's take that out for a minute. So I want to make this a larger tag, and so I'm going to have to add this to a large card. I'm looking for this. Okay, it's just a cream colored cardstock. That's what I want. And I want this to come up a little higher. I'm going to actually, let's see. I want to cut the top down just a hair. Okay. So that'll, I think that'll work. And I'm going to mark this, whoops. Let's see if this will work. And then, is that too wide? No, that goes in. Still a little too tall. Yes, see, I wanted to see that rose up there. That's why I wanted to add some onto it. What might I put on the bottom? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this a moment, and I'm going to go emboss. I'm going to go emboss just part of this card, and I'll be right back. Okay, my battery died. I had to change battery. So I embossed with this little design. It's one of my favorites. And I've got a very dry vintage photo. I'm going to try up here where I'm going to cover it first and see if I like this. Yeah, I just want to, I would like to see the pattern a little bit more. You're in my way. Okay, I like that. Now, I'm going to, I want to tear the bottom of this. All right, and a little bit of the vintage photo. Yes, okay. And some glue. I just turned it upside down so I can see that I've already good on the edges. Let's I want that straight, so I'm not going to trust me and the scissors. Just going to trim it a little bit. This I'm okay with the scissors. I'm just going to make this one a large journaling card. I think I'm going to have to cover the back because of the embossing. We'll see. Let me have a look. Yeah, because that would be hard to write on. Oh, this will work. That'll work. It's from another project. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. And again, I'll probably come back and do a label or something on it. Alright, that's that one. And then for this one, what was I going to do? No, I'm going to do this. I don't think I mentioned this, but I go back and forth. I've gone back and forth in this tag book, and I do it sometimes in my journals, for inking between the vintage photo and the walnut stain, I think it's called. Walnut stain, the Distress Oxide. Just to change it up so that it's not all the same. All right. And this lovely lady, someone could do some writing on there if they wanted, and I will leave that back plain. Move over like that. So I need to, I'll trim that after I glue this on. Yeah, that needs something else. Okay, what's in the way here? Let's stretch this a little bit. There's something. Let me try my ruler. There we go. Where am I? I got one more here. And this was what I cut from the master board. Cut it to like a journaling card size. And I have no idea, but this is one of my favorite images from Sweet Pea Curiosities. It's, I think, either a Moment in Time or Paris Patina. I love it. I pulled these out. My little doodly-doos. Let's see. I need this here. So if I put her on here. I think I'm going to also maybe do some lace and something else. Okay, I want to think about this. I do. I want to think about it. I want to think about it. So, just a quick recap. We've got this journaling card, done. This tag done. This is done. I didn't have to do anything to it. This tag done. Now when I say done, I will probably still come back and either maybe stamp something on them. I love Sam Poole's stamps and I use them all the time, so I'll probably use some of her stamps on something. And labels. I love labels. Don't we all love labels? So there's that. And so I will come back and do that. I usually come around at the end and go through, and that way I can just get in a rhythm, if you will. And then we just did that one. I like the pink tab, the lace, pink lace tab. And then we did this one. That needs something. And then these two we just did. So yeah, I'm going to stop here. And throw that in there too. And consider what I want to do next. Plus, I need to find something for that pocket. I need to find a backing for that. And I need to find an image for that tag. And for that tag, and something for the belly band. So, and then these pockets I have to think about. And I might look through, in fact I will look through tags that I have that are already made, which is a good point for mass making. I've tried so hard to mass make, and I don't know why I can't quite get into it. I will do a few and then it's like, okay, is it boredom? I don't know. But it sure would make this process a lot easier, because then I could pull from tags that I already have, and it wouldn't take me so long to make my whatever it is that I'm making, because I'm always, as you see, I'm always having to make something to go in the pockets. I've been following along with Kathy over at Raven Vintage on her YouTube channel. She did a 15-day kind of like shoebox project. I believe it's a 15-day shoebox project, I believe Kathy called it. And that inspired me. So if you don't like to mass make, or you want to mass make, I would hop on over to Kathy's YouTube channel, and I'll put a link for that down in the description box, and check that out, because I think she had a great idea, and the everything that she made was fairly simple and went fairly quick. So, and she made, within those 15 days, she had a shoebox full of ephemeras, and she can explain it all better than I can. So if you get a chance, go visit Kathy over at Raven Vintage, excuse me, and check it out. Kathy always has great ideas, and I enjoy watching her videos and following her over on Instagram. So anyway, let me stop here. I'll be back either on this video or another video. I think as long as the editing is not too long, I'll probably just tack it onto this. So either way, I'll see you soon. Bye. Hey everybody, I'm back, and I have made some decisions and cut out some images, and I just haven't put things together. I thought I would just go ahead and turn the camera on and do that with you. So let's just go through these. I'm going to work on the tags that I didn't finish. So first one inside. Move things out of the way. These are the two images that this is a scrap from something, and this I believe is Sweet Pea Curiosities. So I'm going to glue these two elements down. I've already inked this, but I forgot to ink this one, so let me do that real quick. Actually, let's see. I want to do it like this. Yeah, like this, and then that one a little lower. See if my glue's still working. Yay! It is. So I think, oops, somewhere about there. And then I'll just glue. I want to put a piece of lace at the bottom. Maybe I've got some that have been stained. Let's see if I like that any better. Well, let me go ahead and ink it. I forgot to do that. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Alright, I'm going to go with it for now, and may come back to it and add a little something to it, not sure yet. So let's move on to, alright, what I did was I had a tag already made. I had a couple tags that I liked and I thought went with everything, that one and that one. So I just took those little things right in here, like so. And then this tag, just put a little dot of glue there and a little dot of glue there so that they would stay where I want them, and make sure that's what I want. Sometimes my mat is just so slippery. Okay. I'm going to punch a hole for some seam binding. I'm going to get some of this color because I love it. And I like the way it goes with the colors in the tag and on the page. So let's see if I'm going to move the camera just a bit. I think I keep going out of frame, so let's try that. Let's see if I can tie a bow. Guys, I am terrible at bows. Okay. Okay. And I think once the book's closed, that's going to kind of lay down and flatten out. Alright, so for now I'm going to call that done. See, that one's gotten flattened out, which I like. Looks old and crinkly, like old, like the old flowers on millinery. The millinery flowers. What am I trying to say? The millinery flowers on old, usually like old hats, and you'll see them. They're all kind of crushed, and I like that look. Okay, so I've pulled out some laces. This one I pretty much know what I'm going to do. Alright, I cut a piece of cardstock to fit this corner tuck. And I have a piece of antique ledger scrap and a piece of scrap from Lydia's kit. I have this image from Sweet Pea Curiosities. I've got some cardboard. So I'm going to ink real quick. Now, let's see if I remember how I liked it. So first, I have to put on these two pieces. There we go. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Again, I just like to put a little dot of glue so I can work with them. Oh yes, I like that. Now at the back. Just want to tone down the white a little bit. You know what? I think that must have been some glue residue. And then the darker one. Okay, I like that. I sure make a mess here. Just moving some stuff out of the way, guys. Oh, adjusting my chair. All right, that one's done. This one. This is the side tuck. And I went ahead. This is one of those time cards. I cut it down and I covered it with some antique German Bible page. And I've got this scrap and I've got this image, and I'm going to ink them. So what I was thinking was something like this. And then I fussy cut this out of one of the scraps. And I thought I would put that there. So I was thinking, though, of doing something like this. There we go. I like that. So that was that one. These two are done. This one. This is one of the cut-offs of the masterboard that I made. And I decided on this one. I'm going to put this at the bottom. And I thought I might put this here. What was I going to do with this one? I don't remember. I think it was like that. Okay. Okay. I like that. Almost done. Got to put the image on the cover, and then I'll come back and do labels, stamping, whatever, little ephemera. What I did for these pockets is I printed on cardstock these shabby photographs, or shabby, I think they're shabby photographs. I think there's 1, 2, and 3 kits, sample, and so I just printed them, printed something pretty on the back, and put 2 of them in each pocket. Actually, I want that one in the front. And again, I may come in, put a label on it, label something. It all needs just little, you know, like the little tiny details now. All right, and the 2 covers in the middle, I need to decide on ribbon. She's a little bulky, but I like it like that. Again, this may be tacked on to the end of this video, or it may be one more video, because I think that's all it would need if I do another video, is the cover and the details. All right, whichever way I decide, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.